Hi, my name is Ole. I'm here from Flitz today to show you all the different Flitz applications in the kitchen, in the bathroom, and a lot of your household applications just for maintenance. We've been blessed as a manufacturer. We're out almost 50 years. Flitz originally came from Germany. It's all a paste product. Well, I should say it started as a paste product. We developed now many different items, but the paste is the heartbeat of the company. This is a commercial can, but it comes in various different sizes for consumer use. But one thing it says on here, it says metal, plastic, and fiberglass polish. In other words, you can use this anything from a shower enclosure to a faucet to a stainless steel kitchen sink, even anywhere around your granite and countertops the same way. Now the Flitz Polish comes in a paste form, as I mentioned, and also comes in liquid form. Now when it comes to everyday maintenance, the liquid is fantastic. It's not only a little less money, it's a little easier to use because it's a little more diluted. The paste is a little more solid, so being more solid is used more for heavy-duty cleaning, especially if something's been neglected for a long time. One of our big questions in chat rooms and also when you do trade shows or seeing plumbing showrooms is polished nickel. Polished nickel, stainless steel, chrome, even a lot of your gold finishes nowadays, you can use the Flitz Polish on because the Flitz Polish is a very safe, easy product to use, but it still isn't abrasive. People ask me, how abrasive is it? I said it's a 4,000 grit. So in layman's terms, it's just like super fine jeweler's rouge. In fact, a Kleenex that I use a lot of times for a demonstration like this is actually more abrasive than Flitz because of the paper. But what I'm trying to demonstrate here is when you do this on a faucet, if it's a nickel or polished stainless steel, you do like this, take off the black oxidation like this. Calcium from the water spots, the oxidation will come right off in the exact same way. And when you're doing this, you can see a major difference. Now we do a lot for sinks. When the sinks that have like a polished nickel, or if you do with chrome and things like that, you can actually see it before and after on a piece like this here. It's miraculous. Now I'm going to put a little water on top to show you the best part about this whole thing. Flitz not only polishes something, you see how the water sticks there? A lot of water beads up there. Flitz leaves a protective coating that's good for between 2 and 3 months, and that's a really harsh environment. But normally sinks or faucets, because you're using soap, you're touching with your hands, etc., you're going to have to do it every 2 to 3 months to really maintain a nice finish. Feel free to use it though on your satin finishes. If you do use it on a gold finish, you want to use a very thin coat and use a small amount with the microfiber just to check it, because everybody plates gold differently. Even though the gold is very popular nowadays, but it's more of a brush gold, and you don't really want it real shiny, but you want to take off stains, especially when you have problems with certain chemicals, even hairspray and different things that's used in the bathroom. Now, we have a lot of people have what we call living finishes. It's basically living finishes that are actually meant to be tarnished or oxidized, or an antique finish like this. Now, this antique finish is baked on. So you could actually use the Flitz on here as a product to clean it and take off any residue from soap, hard water, and so on. You can see my tissue is not dirty like it is on a stainless steel because you're really just polishing a painted finish here. But you'll see even a difference when I use the microfiber on this faucet. You can actually see how brilliant it comes out with just using the regular Flitz polish. Now again, this is not a true living finish because it's coated. But when you have something that's not coated and strictly designed to really oxidize and naturally turn green and things, then you want to use something different. So I'm going to switch over now from the Flitz polish to our faucet wax. The cool thing with the faucet wax, it's made of carnauba and beeswax. It's all natural. So you can use this not only on a gold finish. I'm going to squirt a little bit out of here on my little demo bottle, and you'll see it comes out just like a lotion like this here. And we'll put it same way on a antique finish that we have. So it's a very soft, creamy product. You can put it on with your hands, you can put it on with a cloth or a microfiber, however you choose to use it. Once you apply it, because it is a wax product, you can let it dry if you wish. But a lot of times I'd take it off right away, because once it's on here like this, and you buff it, you get not only a very nice luster, an even finish, but now you get a protective coating. Once this really dries on here, you'll see how the water like this, it beads up even better than Flitz. This protective coating you can get on your anodized finishes like this. You can use on polished nickel. You can put it on stainless steel, on chrome, and even the gold finishes in the same way. But by applying this, like I'm doing here, you'll see it brings out a very even luster on the stainless steel and nickel. And again, the moisture rolls right off. The faucet wax realistically should give you a minimum of 3 to 4 months in protection, depending how often you're using with harsh detergents in your hands and things like that. But we highly recommend the faucet wax. It's been blessed. You'll see online we have probably over 30 different faucet manufacturers that actually recommend our product right in their instruction manual. So even people like Kohler will mention if you have a problem with something, use your Flitz Polish or the Flitz wax. Now you see some other bottles over here. One is actually your instant brass and copper cleaner. And we also have a calcium lime and rust remover. Now both these products are very similar, but they work similar to, I wouldn't want to say acid, because acid is a naughty word and very harsh. This is harsh, but this is a salt-based product. And because it's a salt-based product, you can get on your skin, you can wash it, not going to be a problem. But I want to show you something. I have this old fire extinguisher here, and if you have an old copper sink, or we have some people have sinks and tubs that are copper, they start using them with soap and things, and they start discoloring them, and they don't want the discoloration. They want basically just a copper look. If that's what you want, you can take this instant brass and copper cleaner, spray it directly on this piece, just like you can see right here, and it instantly cleans it, just that fast. Now this product will clean as long as you leave it sit on there. If I rub it like this, it even works more. What makes this product stop working though is water. So once I do this to a sink or a tub or something that I want to just clean the copper, I have to take water and rinse it like this. And unfortunately, if you don't rinse this chemical, it'll keep eating at the finish. Now I've done showrooms, for instance, where they have a living shower that's actually working shower to demonstrate all the different heads and things. And over time, those heads get full of calcium, water spots, especially if you don't have a good water softener. So I've actually done shower heads that don't really come out very well because they're all clogged up. In that same case, you can take the calcium, lime, and rust remover, spray it on that shower head, massage it with a cloth or a sponge, and then just turn the shower head on and make sure you rinse it very, very well. Once you rinse it, the product will stop working. But it'll take that hard calcium water spots off and just make that water flow right through very evenly. Both these products come in 16-ounce bottles. They also come now in 32-ounce for large users, but these are the most popular in the household industry that way to purchase. Now, by the way, since I was on this copper and brass, if you want a different look from this, in other words, if you want a shiny look, now unfortunately you have to do it more often, but you can take a little Flitz paste like this, put it right on top of that copper. Now you can do it by hand, or you can use it with a buffer. Now, I'm lazy, so I have to use a buffer. I'm going to do it two ways, because not everybody, especially a woman in a home, will use a buffer. These buffers attach to your drill. And these are actually meant to do the work for you. And this buffer I want to take off here so I can kind of show you. The shaft is built in the back like this. And there's a way to put on any kind of drill. Basically, when this gets really filthy dirty, which you'll see right away, you close this up, and you can actually soak it in a pail of water with dishwashing soap or like car wash soap to get all the black gunk out, and then put it in a wash machine. They wash beautifully. Most people, when they're really dirty, don't want to put that in a wash machine, because if they do, they're not very happy. So I always tell people pre-soaking it first makes your job a lot easier. Now I'm going to take this dirty buff ball on here, because it's all dirty already anyways from demonstrating. And I'm going to show you on this piece here how you can do a spot with a buff ball versus by hand. I go slow speed first like this, just to apply it. And in a couple of seconds, I bring it out to a mirror finish. Now I still have some polish down here in the bottom. I'm going to do this spot by hand. And it does the same thing. It just takes more manual labor. But if you were just doing a small area, doing it with a cloth or by hand with a microfiber is fine. But when you do a large area like a tub, or if you have a commercial establishment where you're trying to do a lot, using the buff ball is really the answer. But what a difference, isn't it? It's remarkable. Plus, when moisture gets on here, the same exact way how it beads right up. It seals right up for you. So the protective coating on this is a minimum of 2 to 3 months in the same way. Now, when you're all done doing all these items, people always say, well, can I have it last longer than 2 or 3 months? I don't want to do it all the time. Well, the biggest problem is when you're using something constantly, you do have to maintain it. Nothing's magic, including Flitz. We do manufacture, though, what we call a ceramic sealant. Ceramic sealants are very big in the car industry. They're used on paints and fiberglass. And a ceramic like this will last well over a year. So if you choose to use a ceramic on like your tub or shower or something like this, you actually take it, and these are applicator pads like this. And nice thing about this applicator pad, there's a rubber band like on here, so hold it right to your hand like that. And once I put this on, I spray the applicator pad with the ceramic sealant. I wipe it on like I wipe on paint. It's very simple. Once I've done that, I simply take a brand new microfiber and buff it off. Now this takes 2 hours to cure. In other words, 2 hours from now is when the ceramic coating gets really hard. But this can give you up to a year protection. It's phenomenal as far as long-term protection, especially if something's outdoors. Now, we do use microfiber. Flitz does make different microfibers. This one here happens to be a 16 by 16, but it's what they call 400 GSM. And by that I mean it's super, super thick compared to anything you buy normally in a regular marketplace. They are more expensive, but they're washable 200 to 300 times and give you great product. One side is like a terry cloth end of it, and one side is very soft and smooth. We do also make the same microfiber in a roll like this. This roll has 30 microfibers on it, and it basically sells retail for around $1 a piece. So the idea behind this is if you lose one or it gets really super dirty, you can afford to throw it away. It's not a big deal. But these are a little bit smaller. These are 16 by 16 microfibers, but 12 by 12, I apologize. But more importantly is the microfiber is also very thick, 300 GSM, comes also with a terry cloth and a smooth finish to it that way. Now, I'm going to go to a sink. We get a lot of questions on sinks all the time, but I got to make a little room here on my table. And the sink I'm going to take is a piece of a stainless steel sink that we cut apart. I'm going to show it in the camera here. You look real close, you can actually see how it's actually rusted a little bit. Now, stainless steel is one thing. Stainless steel is exactly what it says, stainless, not stain proof. And by that I mean you get surface rust. If anybody has a barbecue at home, you know what I mean. The stainless steel will still rust, especially in a salt environment. A kitchen sink, you don't really get rusting, but when you use chemicals or use certain soaps, different things like that, you will get staining for sure. And what I want to show you is the Flitz polishing paste, again, comes in a cream like you see here. I'm going to put this on directly on the stainless steel. I'm going to do it here so the camera can catch it. And as I put this on, you don't have to use a lot, because you use too much, you're smearing a lot of it. So sometimes you want to use a little more sparingly. You can always add more. In this case, I will take the buffer. My wife and I bought a home recently that of course, was several years old, almost 20 years old. And I took the stainless steel sink and I made it look like a mirror. And you're going to see how and why. Again, I go slow speed to apply it like this. And then I take it and I buff it. Now this buff ball takes shape to the sink. Because the buff ball is rounded by itself, you can use it in different directions. Normally, to do an entire sink, you're looking anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes, depending how bad it is. But look at the results. It's outstanding. Look how it comes out. Now again, this is a cutaway piece, and by using this buffer, especially like this, you can see the rounded corners of the sink. This buffer fits right inside. So it makes your job a lot easier rather than trying to rub in your hands. But by doing this with a buffer, not only will you save time, the results are like chrome. Best part about it afterwards, like I was saying before, watch the water as it hits the areas that hasn't been done and how it beads up over here. You always get a protective coating out of it like this. So on your stainless steel kitchen sinks, again, we've been blessed by companies like Kindred, Blanco that actually recommend Flitz on their different products. But you can put this on. It's not a lifetime protection. You're going to have to redo it again, but sure makes your job easier. Stainless steel, Corian, there's a lot of different types of sinks out there. And if you have a sink that has stains in it, especially from pot marks, from cooking your, washing your dishes and different things like that, you can use the same Flitz product, not just on metal, but on porcelain and different places like that to give them a polish. Last and final, let me put this fire extinguisher away here. And we're going to do an area on this marble, or I should say granite. Now, marble and granite is always an issue. You're supposed to seal your granite countertops, your quartz countertops every year. Most people don't do that. So we make it very simple. We have a new Flitz granite and glass protectant. Now basically, this is like a ceramic coating that they use in the automotive industry to use on your granite and glass. By glass, I mean shower doors. You can use it on a glass window where you get a lot of like pets and people touching it, fingerprints and things, and you can use it around your countertops. It's a very simple product. You spray it on. I'm going to do half of this piece over here. I'm going to take a nice thick microfiber, wipe this off. Not only will you see a major difference, the best part is, in 2 hours from now, this will cure. When by curing, I mean it's going to get super, super hard. This is dry right now to the touch, but it's amazing the difference you can see like this. When you use a granite wax, the cool thing is it's hard, you can't feel it here on is an audience, but you can see how that bottle just slides right over. When you put this on the countertop, especially because of liquor like wine, red or white, citrus, everything that leaves stains, this will seal it for you. Now realistically, you're going to have to do it because you're using soap, water, and countertop washing and things like that. You're going to have to do this realistically every 3 to 4 months. At Flitz, we've been blessed. For almost 50 years now in business, we have consumers bragging about our product. We have many of them take videos. In fact, if you go on YouTube channel, if you go on flitz.com, you'll see a lot of videos in the bathrooms and kitchens of consumer homes as well as what we've done the same way. The product itself is guaranteed at 100% money back, but we have a lot of times people call or want to chat because they have certain questions. They spend thousands of dollars in their kitchen or bathroom remodeling. As we know, some of these faucets can be $1,000 or more, or sinks. Please give us a call. We don't mind answering questions. The good thing about our company policy, it's a new policy right now. We actually have a phone number that we answer, plus we speak English. So feel free to give us a call, and we'll try to answer those questions. Thank you very much.